Welcome to my video. Today we're going to be discussing the topic of rising to the occasion. And what does it mean to rise to the occasion? It means to meet whatever circumstance it is that you're going through. Meet that circumstance in a state of you being in your power and being able to rise to that occasion, whether that be you needing to rise to an occasion mentally, you needing to rise to an occasion emotionally, physically, or spiritually. Rising to the occasion is something that it's important to be able to do in order to step up to the plate, in order to achieve whatever goal it is that you have in mind, whatever goal it is that you have in heart, whatever goal it is that you have in spirit, whatever goal it is that you have in the physical existence to achieve. And being able to rise to that occasion is a part of the process of, that. The process of that, it's a key part to that process, is being able to rise to the occasion. For example, if you have something that you're trying to achieve, being able to arise to that occasion and rise to the occasion is stepping up into that situation, to that scenario, to that experience, and being able to, weather whatever conditions you are experiencing, being able to be tolerant of whatever situations or scenarios it is that you're going through, being able to be perseverant through whatever situations or scenarios that are, in your reality or in your existence. And being able to rise to an occasion is something that we all got to do. We all got to be able to rise to an occasion, because if we don't actually rise to the occasion, then we're all going to, fail whatever it is that we set out to do. If we don't rise to the occasion, then how are you going to be in a space of being in your power on a constant basis? Therefore, you're actually getting these things done, and you're actually achieving the goals, the spaces that you want to be reaching in order to continue on your advancement in your path in your life. So rising to the occasion when it comes to mentally has to do with being able to be in your mental state of being in a way where you're able to step up to the plate when it comes to mentally, and being able to be strong enough and have the strong mind and the ability to use your mind in a way where you are able to rise to whatever situation, whatever occasion that you need to rise to. So being mentally strong, being mentally perseverant, and being mentally able to get through any situation that you are in when it comes to rising to the occasion. Like me having said in my last video that I think I'm going to do this video a lot sooner than I actually did. Well, turns out 9 days later, it has only felt like 3 or 4 or maybe 5 days since I made that video. All of a sudden, I find myself in this occasion where mentally I thought that I was going to do this video a lot sooner. Mentally, I was going to do this video when I was in a different space. And when it comes to all of a sudden, boom, 9 days later, I've gone through all sorts of experiences, and these experiences were not actually the experiences that were going to put me in the space of getting this video done, doing this video, mentally being there and present enough to do this video, but being able for me to rise to the occasion and say, okay, right now, I gotta make this happen. I gotta rise to the occasion right now to do this video, regardless of I never got it done when I said I was going to, regardless of I haven't been in the right space in regard to putting out videos when it comes to mentally. I have to rise to the occasion to be able to be strong enough to come here, put out the video, and being able to rise to the occasion of, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta make these things happen. I gotta mentally put in the work. I gotta mentally continue on that path in order to see the results. And if I don't rise to the occasion, then boom, another day goes by. Another day goes by. Another day goes by to where I didn't achieve or set out to achieve whatever it is that I have to achieve and whatever goal that I have in mind when it comes to me being able to rise to that occasion. So rising to the occasion is how you achieve these goals that you set for yourself, and being able to set out for anything that it is that you want to set out for, and knowing that you have to rise to the occasion is an important facet of that, and being able to be strong enough when it comes mentally to, at any point of time, at any space, at any time where you're feeling a certain way, at any, let's say, spiritual path that you're on, being able to rise to the occasion, no matter what is occurring when it comes to the thoughts that you're experiencing, when it comes to mentally, no matter what it is you're experiencing as far as your surroundings and affecting you when it comes to your mental state of being, no matter what sort of like space or situation that you find yourself in, or what person, places, or things that are occurring around you when it comes to physically having to rise to the occasion, regardless of that, regardless of, like I said, how you are experiencing through your emotional state of being. Regardless of that, you have to rise to the occasion, regardless of if you don't know, where are you traveling in regards to spiritually. You need to be able to rise to that occasion in order to advance that experiential spiritual path that you are on, in order to carry out those actions, in order to continue on the path that you are on when it comes to you being able to be strong enough when it comes to mentally, you being able to be strong enough when it comes to emotionally, you being able to be strong enough when it comes to physically, you being able to be strong enough when it comes to spiritually. Therefore, you can rise to whatever occasion it is that comes to you on your path, or that you reach and that you come to on your path when it comes to rising to the occasion. At all times when it comes to mentally, you're going to need to put in that strength, put in that mental work in order to overcome what it is that you need to. And when it comes to mentally, you got to stay mentally on task. You got to stay mentally sharp, no matter what distractions are out there, no matter what things are straying you from the path in regards to mentally, no matter what that is, being able to rise to that occasion through all, and being able to really rise to that occasion no matter what it is that you're dealing with when it comes to mentally, is going to help you move along your experiences, and not being able to, okay, that's mentally messing with me, that's mentally stopping me along my path, that's mentally a thing that I can't now advance when it comes to mentally. No, you're using this as a situation to test you and to be able to build you up to where you're that much better at rising to the occasion. Therefore, from that point on down the road, you can rise to any occasion, and even more difficult occasions and even more challenging occasions that it is that you have to rise to. So being able to rise to the occasion when it comes to mentally, it's a strong superpower that you can use. And you can do it in a way where no matter what it is that you are experiencing, and no matter what it is that you are going through, you can rise to that occasion. It doesn't matter what is occurring in your reality. It doesn't matter what sort of things you're dealing with. You can rise to that occasion. And through rising to that occasion, you're going to become more mentally strong, more mentally built, more mentally, I would say, resistant, more mentally perseverant, more mentally clairvoyant, more mentally intuitive, more mentally able to come up with new ways in terms of thinking about your thought processes and your thought forms of being able to rise to that occasion, not only that occasion, but occasions occurring after that occasion and down the road, being able to rise to that occasion, whatever that may be. So that's rising to the occasion when it comes mentally, and when it comes to rising to the occasion as far as, physically, being able to, whatever situation that it is that you're dealing with, whatever space you are in, whatever person, place, or thing, like I've already said before, that you're dealing with as far as, physically, being able to get through that experience, being able to get through that situation, being able to get through that scenario in a way where you're rising to the occasion in your own power, and where you are physically protected, and you are physically strong, and you are in your space of being physically aware and being physically present. And rising to the occasion is like, okay, whatever it is that I'm dealing with when it comes to physically, I'm going to rise to the occasion. Whatever it is that I have to do when it comes to physically, I'm going to rise to the occasion. Whatever it is that comes in my path and comes in my way of challenging me or making something difficult, and I'm going to rise to that occasion and be able to step into working towards achieving that goal, or working towards that challenge, or working over or getting through whatever obstacle may be when it comes to, physically. You're going to have things that you're going to have to deal with when it comes to rising to the occasion. And if I can tell you guys a personal experience of mine, and for those of you that are going to watch, and for those of you that are listening to what it is that I have to say, in terms of me having something to say that is of substance and that is of meaning and of truth, is, a couple months back, me and my partner had our transportation taken away from us just because of a certain situation that we were in. And over the last 3 to now 4.5 months of just us having to rise to the occasion and get everywhere on bikes, on manual pedal bikes, and being able to put in that physical effort and rising to the occasion when it comes to physically of having to have rode and ride the bikes to wherever it is that we need to be, has been an example of us having to rise to that occasion. And I say that and I share that point because it's stuff like that that you're going to have to rise to when it comes to physically. I have a rising headache. Like, my headache that I've had today has been increasing, and it's just happened as of recently in regards to today, but I'm doing that regardless of the fact that I have a headache building up. I'm recording this video regardless of that fact, and so that's me rising to the occasion regardless of what it is that I'm dealing with when it comes to physically. And in terms of you guys, there's going to be tough things that you're going to have to deal with, and it's how you deal with that and how you rise to those occasions that really are a reflection of your true spirit, your true strength that you have, not just spiritually but emotionally, physically, and mentally, in order to get through whatever situation it is that you're going through. And rising to the occasion is just that. You're going to have to do these hard things. You're going to have to deal with whatever it is that you have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with challenging people. You're going to have to deal with challenging things. You're going to have to deal with challenging places when it comes to physically, and being able to rise to the occasion to put yourself in that physical existence and put yourself in that physical experience and put yourself in that physical scenario in a space where you're in your own strength and you're rising to that occasion in your own power and your own strength, is going to be beneficial in terms of you getting through that experience, in terms of you getting through that situation, in terms of you getting through that scenario. Whatever it is thrown at you when it comes to physically, whatever comes in your way when it comes to physically, you got to be able to weather that storm. You got to be able to get through whatever it is that comes into your existence as far as physically. Any occasion that you have to rise to, you have to be able to do that in order to become, on that next level, become something that is bigger than you were before, something that is more influential than you were before, something that is that much more stronger and that much more dealing with the mechanisms of rising to every occasion it is that you are a part of, rising to the occasion of whatever it is that you're actually dealing with. So there's all sorts of occasions that you will have to rise to, and that's just the mere fact of the matter. And in order to enable yourself to rise to the occasion, you got to be strong physically. You got to be physically protected. You got to be in your power when it comes to physically. You got to be the one to make everything happen, make it happen, whatever it is that you're having to deal with, whatever challenge or difficulty or obstacle that it is in your path. When it comes to physically, you being able to rise to that occasion is getting through that. It's overcoming that. I've talked about it in a lot of my videos, but those videos haven't necessarily been seen by a whole lot of beings, by a whole lot of people. Sure, maybe beings have in the life and external from just the online have interacted with the knowledge and interacted with the wisdom that I have put out there and whatnot. But in regards to the views that I've received on the channel, or people just listening to my videos and whatnot, sure, maybe that's not there. But me having to rise to the occasion and realizing that, hey, I can work towards that. The more and more that I do create videos, the more and more that I rise to the occasion when it comes to putting in that work, I will continue to rise to that occasion, whatever that may be. I know that I don't need to see that in terms of being validated or in terms of knowing that I'm doing the right thing when it comes to the work that I put in, but I know that that is a place that others have been able to reach. Therefore, if I in my own existence and I in my own reality can rise to that occasion, then that is something that I will work towards. That is something that I will continuously do. You know, there's this thing where, you know, some people have platform or they have the support of the platform or whatever that may be, but, you know, I've talked about this in my last video. You can't even look me up on the YouTube search and find my account directly, yet I've made almost 100, and this will be my 187th video, just shy of 13 shy from 200 videos of all stuff that I think would be beneficial of things, all stuff that I feel are beneficial of things, all stuff that I know are beneficial, just dealing with the physical experiences that I've gone through and been able to share regarding, and things that I know through a spiritual lens and through a spiritual perspective, that these things are of substance, these things are of knowledge, are of wisdom, that are important for the experiences that people go through, not just mentally, not just physically, not just emotionally, not just spiritually, but all throughout life. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, I'm so-called shadow banned or so-called unable to be found, you know, low-key or whatever you may call it, is something where, okay, I have to rise to the occasion. I've got to work that much harder. Where I just went 9 days without making a video, I have to look at that and I have to say, that's 9 days. Those are 9 videos, possibly even more, of me not being able to rise to that occasion. And I can take that hit. I'm all right with that. As long as I'm able to be aware of this when it comes to mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, shit, I'm going to continue to rise to the occasion no matter what. Just me being aware of that and me being able to have that perspective is one step forward to rising to that occasion of putting in that work, of constantly manifesting the reality that it is that I have to put in. It's not just, oh, manifesting, if I do this, I'm going to get that. You actually have to work towards it. You can't just think some sort of way or do some sort of action or feel some sort of way or think that you're on some sort of spiritual path. You actually have to put in the work in order to reach those spaces. You actually have to rise to that occasion in order to reach that. And there's been plenty of times where I've, you know, made a video or I've put out a concept or anything that I have done, and I think that that would be beneficial for someone to listen to. I think that that would be beneficial for someone to hear, to have in their reality, to experience, or whatever that may be. And sure, the attraction or the level of attention that those videos or concepts may have gotten have been slim or little to none, or in some certain situations medium-sized, or let's say gaining attraction, or really just strong concepts that I know outside of the, you know, the likes, the views, or whatever that may be. I still know that those concepts are strong. I still know that those concepts are great. I still know that they are powerful. I still know that they stand the test of time. So regardless of what I see, I'm going to continue to rise and raise my consciousness and rise to the occasion of whatever it is that I'm dealing with, you know, regardless of what is going on, regardless of what it is that I have to deal with, regardless of the difficulties that I have to experience. And when it comes to those experiences, I'm going to just keep pushing forward. I'm going to just keep going forward. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to lower my ability to rise to any occasion. I'm not going to have anything affect me, because I'm going to continue on pushing forward no matter what it is that I have to deal with. And that's a lesson that I've had to learn. You know, before even sitting at this table and doing videos here, none of these hateful engravings were in here before regarding Hitler, and I'll just show you guys. That right there, that you can see, swastika, another one there, just stuff like that, right? I've even talked about how someone on the how someone on the Twitter had said, oh, you're basically like that, you're basically, you know, that name that I had mentioned, you know, just even comparing me to the likes of that individual was absurd, and still is absurd, and obviously it doesn't really affect me at all when it comes to mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically in any sort of way. I've been able to realize that, okay, me seeing that engraved onto the places where I come to do videos sometimes is only a confirmation of the resistance that I have to deal with, the things that I have to go through. Even if that wasn't necessarily aimed at me, I could look at it as through the universe of, okay, I could see that that could be a certain situation, that could be a certain scenario of those things playing out in reality, and those the hate or whatever it may be, the resistance that you have to go against, the opposition that you have to face. And just to realize that someone would even do anything of that facet is something that, you know, teaches you a certain aspect, a certain lesson in regards to life, in regards to what you have to go through, and doesn't really faze me in any way. And it doesn't have to, and I just have to use that as a situation to learn that, okay, I'm rising to the occasion through whatever it is I have to deal with, through people hating, through people putting messages here for me to read, or maybe not even, but me being aware of what some people would do anyways, and of what someone would actually put on an engraving or anything of that nature. So me constantly having to rise to that occasion is just an important lesson to know that I'm going to continue on this path regardless of what it is that I have to go through, regardless of what that is. I know some of you may have seen my short of me skiing up north, and yeah, that was something that I did for my birthday. That was an experience that I had, and I went skiing for 2 days, and yeah, that was a great experience. I rose to the occasion, I did what I do, and that's something that I like to do every year on my birthday, to just celebrate and to be able to partake in actions of, I've done this amount of work, now let me do something that I would enjoy doing. So I was doing that, and I posted a short of me skiing with some music behind it. Nothing really crazy there, nothing too important there, just a little update of, you know, what it is that I'm doing when it comes to mentally, what am I partaking in when it comes to physically, what am I partaking in when it comes to emotionally, what am I partaking in when it comes to spiritually. Just a little update of what it is that I had going on. And now I'm back in my, you know, space of existence, to where I am back in business, back in putting in the work physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, putting in the progress and working towards the progress that it is that I need to work towards. So I'm constantly rising to the occasion in that nature, and I'm going to keep doing that regardless of what it is that I have to deal with, right? And when it comes to, you know, emotionally rising to the occasion, it's whatever you're feeling, you know, however you're feeling, you got to be able to get through that. When it comes to emotionally, you got to be able to rise to the occasion when it comes to whatever it is you're dealing with in regards to emotionally. And you got to be able to be strong enough to get through any situation, to rise to the occasion in regards to what you're going through emotionally, in regards to whatever it is that you're dealing with when it comes emotionally. You got to be strong enough, you got to be emotionally aware enough of your emotional state of being to get through whatever it is that you need to get through, and to go through whatever it is that you need to go through, and to continue on growing, and to continue on rising to the occasion regardless of how you feel. You know, there's going to be times where you feel like you're not making any progress, or you feel like you're not able to rise to the occasion in any sort of way, or you feel just down when it comes emotionally, or whatever that situation may be. You got to rise to the occasion and know that you're working towards these goals regardless of what it is that you can see, regardless of what it is that you can think, regardless of what it is that you can feel, regardless of the so-called spiritual opposition or resistance that you're dealing with along your path in your life. You got to know that if you keep rising to the occasion, you're going to continue on moving forward. If you're going to continue rising to the occasion, you're going to keep doing what it is that you need to do and pushing forward in ways that you need to push forward. And that's just rising to the occasion when it comes emotionally, when it comes to spiritually rising to the occasion, really it's everything. It's being able to be the strong one to do so. It's being able to be in your power when it comes to spiritually. It's being able to come out to outside and do something that it is that you have to do. Put in that mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual work. For example, coming outside, doing what it is that you have to do in order to continue on rising to the occasion, in order to continue on putting in that work, regardless of what it is that may be. Keep on rising to the occasion. Keep on being strong. I will be releasing a video, I'm sure, here very soon, and I know I said that before, but this is something that I can work towards. I can be aware of that, and I can work towards rising to the occasion at all points in time. This is something that I'm working towards, and I can continue on rising to that occasion, and I will rise to that occasion. So you guys will see me releasing a couple videos. If you learned something in this video, whether that be mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, or you have something that you took from this video, go ahead and show some support. Do whatever it is that may be, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.